Looks like everybody's ready to go, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, do you want to call the roll, and then we'll dispense with our closed session stuff.
Yes. Please state your name for the record. Members from the City of Colton.
Frank Navarro.
Members from the City of Loma Linda.
Phil Duper.
Member from the County of San Bernardino 2nd District.
Armadero is present.
Member from the County of San Bernardino 5th District.
Baca Jr. present.
And members from the City of San Bernardino.
Juan Figueroa.
And I'd like to note for the record that Member Charette is also in attendance.
Okay, thank you very much. We played this dance. We did this dance last time, Fred. Okay, Madam Clerk, were there any comments for closed session?
No, sir, there were not.
All right, at this time we will adjourn to closed session. Okay, we are back. I'm going to defer to Mr. Lewin to report out on our closed session.
We have no report of action.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll move into the open session with a start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Supervisor Baca, would you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Burrows, are there any items to be added or deleted?
Yes, atypically for us, we are requesting your consideration to add one item. I'll have Mr. Lewin give the background on it.
Okay, so you have on your agenda a lease agreement with LAFCO here. Part of preparing and getting that space available for lease is going to require some modifications and to create the actual device space on it. So we were getting bids on that, and that bid came in after the agenda was posted on it. But in order, assuming that you will move forward and approve the LAFCO lease, approving this as an added item, which was not available prior to the meeting and does need to be dealt with in conjunction with getting the facility ready to be leased out to LAFCO, I would recommend that you add that to the agenda. You would require a 2/3 vote on it. The backgrounds of which I've already given will be added there, dealt with at the end of the agenda after we get through the lease and other doc.
All right, so we need a motion to add that to the agenda.
So move.
Second. All right. Did you catch those?
Yes, I have a motion by Member Baca and a second by Member Navarro. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Echevarria?
Yes.
Member Duper?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Baca?
Baca aye.
Member Armendariz?
Armendariz aye.
Member Tran?
Yes.
Member Ibarra?
Yes.
And Member Figueroa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll deal with any conflicts of interest if they come up. Moving on to informational items. Mr. Burrows, 2A.
So Ms. Beltran sends her regards. She's working on a grant application as we speak. But wanted to give you the latest on the infrastructure corridor. Happy to report that all of those technical studies you kept hearing about that we need to complete the EIR have come in, save one, which should be in by this Friday. However, the team at Tom Dodson and Associates has been sending Miriam and I draft EIR chapters as they're available, and we've reviewed all of those to get them back. So I'm happy to report that we should be back announcing before the end of the month the circulation schedule for the draft EIR, and then at your next meeting we'll be talking and getting feedback from you on communication outreach plans to be able to then deal and respond to comments on the EIR as it gets out there to the respective member agencies as well as the community. I will say that the City of San Bernardino and City of Highlands staff, who have been engaged in this project from its inception, have been very helpful and given us feedback as we've gone there too. So should be before the end of July that this will finally be ready to hit the street, and I will certainly notify all of you when that date comes, so we'll all be ready to get the word out. So that concludes the report.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to consent calendar.
Baca moves. Navarro second.
Supervisor Baca, Mayor Navarro.
Thank you. We have a motion by Member Baca and a second by Member Navarro. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Echevarria?
Yes.
Member Duper,
Yes.
Member Rigsby,
Yes.
Member Baca,
Baca, aye.
Member Almendares, Member Tran,
Yes.
Member Ibarra,
Yes.
and Member Figueroa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to action items number 8, which is the lease agreement and our supplemental amendment, correct?
And I'm going to fill in for Daryl, too. He had a family issue arise, so hopefully my real estate skills aren't too rusty here. So what we're proposing is a lease agreement with LAFCO. They, of course, have had their board meetings here in this chamber for quite some time, and we've been in discussions with LAFCO staff over the years about office opportunities in and around this space. The suite that we've identified is the former Police Officers Association space that has been vacated. They found other facilities earlier in the year, and we notified LAFCO of the availability, and they were able to find a fit for the space. We're proposing a 2-year term with a 1-year option. Pretty standard security deposit. It is a modified gross lease, just like anything else we have in this building here, same as the Police Officers Association. So they pay janitorial, electric, data, and phone charges, as well as a fee for a portion of the refuse. The balance of the space is essentially common area that we pick up here. There is an option for LAFCO to exercise the ability to expand the space by 165 square feet. That's the one unit that we're asking you to consider doing interim partitioning on, so we can have a little bit of relief for our security team. But definitely a compatible use and somebody that's familiar with the space, so would appreciate your support on it.
Okay, any questions?
Baca moves.
Second.
Supervisor Baca and Mayor Tran.
We have a motion by Member Baca and a second by Member Tran. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro,
Yes.
Member Echevarria,
Yes.
Member Duper,
Yes.
Member Rigsby,
Yes.
Member Baca,
Baca, aye.
Member Almendares, Member Tran,
Yes.
Member Ibarra,
Yes.
and Member Figueroa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 9, Ms. Pritchett.
Good evening. In January of this year, the state passed Senate Bill 553, titled the Workplace Violence Prevention Act, with the goal of mitigating rising occurrences of workplace violence. SB 553 is mandated to all state employers, including your respective agencies, and it has 3 main components: development and adoption of a written workplace violence prevention plan, active involvement of all employees throughout the work site regarding the identification of and response to acts of workplace violence, and for the agency to provide workplace violence prevention training to all employees upon hire annually thereafter and immediately following any reported threat or event. Where we go one, we go all with IVDA and SABIA, so this identical policy and plan will be presented to the SABIA Commission, and it will be implemented following final legal review and approval by both agencies. We do plan on implementing training the beginning part of August. I would be remiss not to thank our risk management analyst, Amber Setian, who put painstaking hours in developing this plan in time for the state mandated deadline, which was July 1st. But with that, that concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
I move to approve. Motion. Oh.
Motion by Member Ibarra and
Second.
Mayor Tran. Was that okay? Second. Any questions, comments?
I do have a question. I know there's a lot of other agencies that are pushing to get this approved. My other job, we already had to do one of these training sessions in person. And I know for the city, we have a training session coming up. So will the IVDA, for us on the board, will we have to present like a certificate to you or attend to this one also?
No, it's understood that your respective agencies will be responsible for providing training similar to what you do with the harassment prevention. Our safety committee has convened and trainings are scheduled, but you will be excluded.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wait till you do it online and it takes 8-9 hours. Okay. We had a motion and a second?
Yes.
Madam Clerk.
We have a motion by Member Ibarra and a second by Member Tran. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro,
Yes.
Member Echevarria,
Yes.
Member Duper,
Yes.
Member Rigsby,
Yes.
Member Baca,
Baca, aye.
Member Almendares, Member Tran,
Yes.
Member Ibarra,
Yes.
and Member Figueroa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item number 10. This is going to be a treat. Our clerk of the board.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, board members. I have the privilege of presenting the Inland Valley Development Agency's annual report for 2023. This story map presentation will be made available on the IVDA website and is a dynamic presentation as staff will continue to update information as projects are completed. Comprised of the cities of Colton, Loma Linda, San Bernardino, and the county of San Bernardino, the IVDA remains dedicated to the effective reuse of the former Norton Air Force Base since its formation in 1990. In 2020, the IVDA completed a 5-year business plan update to further focus on economic development and infrastructure. These key initiatives will be highlighted throughout the presentation. In November of 2002, the IVDA entered into a master disposition and development agreement with Hillwood, known as Alliance California. Alliance California's project areas are outlined in the graphic shown. Alliance California's goals of changing the landscape, increasing tax base, and bringing jobs back continue to be achieved and are actively demonstrated through the ongoing development and almost $1 billion tax base increase. Goal number 1 of changing the landscape can be seen in the current projects of Alliance California. The Northgate and Gateway South projects are located near the SBD International Airport with access to air, rail, and interstate highways. Development of the Northgate buildings 2 through 6 is anticipated in 2025, with construction drawings currently in progress, and the Gateway South buildings 7 through 9 are either currently under construction or entitled and ready to develop. The IVDA continues to achieve new milestones of assessed value growth. For fiscal year 23-24, the base reuse project area has generated a record total assessed value of $11.4 billion, a 9.4% increase, which ties into the above mentioned goal, number 2, of increasing that tax base. And over the last 10 years, the IVDA, as a regional organization, has continued to advance key partnerships, programs, and services across its member jurisdictions, further enhancing additional job creation and retention efforts throughout the IVDA base reuse project area. As reflected in goal number 3, the IVDA's purpose is to encourage and promote new employment opportunities while maintaining effective business retention. From 2022 to 2023, there has been an increase of approximately 400 jobs. 2022's creation and retention of direct jobs was 17,757. The IVDA project reuse area has reached a new milestone this year of creating and retaining 18,101 direct jobs, replacing and exceeding the direct jobs lost due to the closure of the Norton Air Force Base, with an economic output of approximately $4.9 billion. Using the implant software, we were able to highlight the top 10 job industries that were affected in the region, with a steady annual increase in air transportation employment. Numbers 1 and 2, e-commerce and air transportation, remained in the top 2, with air transportation encompassing air cargo and airlines. Moving into our IVDA infrastructure, the Inland Valley Infrastructure Corridor Project is a focused effort resulting from years of input and effort by the IVDA and many regional partners. The project focuses on infrastructure improvements adjacent to the 3rd and 6th Street corridors in the cities of Highland and San Bernardino. The notice of preparation and the project description have been published and distributed, and as Mike updated earlier, the draft EIR and technical studies have been compiled and will be circulated this summer. The 3rd and 5th Street corridor improvements. In January of 2018, the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians, the City of Highland, and the IVDA received funding assistance from the U.S. Economic Development Administration for the 3rd and 5th Street corridor improvements project. The project is anticipated to be completed by the end of this month. The 3rd Street Corridor project, the IVDA was awarded $3 million of U.S. DOT Cycle 2 Community Project Funding, congressional directed spending. These funds will be utilized for the 3rd Street Corridor project, which is a regional arterial roadway improvement project that will enhance safety, mobility, and access to the growing SBD International Airport for its customers, businesses, and residents. Sterling Avenue improvements. In December of 2021, the IVDA and San Manuel Band of Mission Indians received a $3.8 million grant from the U.S. Economic Development Administration for the intersection improvements at Sterling Avenue and 3rd Street. The work also includes a new bridge placement over the City Creek Channel. The project is currently in plan check with the City of San Bernardino, with the estimated construction phase anticipated to begin in late 2024. And the electric vehicle charging stations. With the recent update of the airport's green energy element, staff has pursued a number of programs, including potential EV charging stations, in cooperation with Southern California Edison's Charge Ready program. In August of 2022, the IVDA board approved an agreement to own and operate EV charging equipment, with the final 2 charging stations anticipated to be complete by the end of 2024. And lastly, the landing by San Manuel. This project is located south of 3rd Street between Victoria and Central Avenues, just north of the SBD International Airport. This project continues a multi-decade partnership with San Manuel, including close coordination and land exchange processes with local and federal organizations. The award-winning development is substantially complete and anchored by San Manuel's tenant, Flexport. A comprehensive economic development strategy, is known as CEDS, is required at least every 5 years to qualify for Economic Development Administration assistance. All IVDA CEDS partnering agencies and staff provided valuable updates and inputs into project portfolios, allowing them to be eligible for future federal funding. The annual update to the CEDS was completed in October of 2022. And we're moving right into the UAS Center at SBD. This was established in 2020 by the IVDA, and it provides consulting on drone policy, standardization and integration, as well as product evaluation. It offers comprehensive drone pilot training, a site for test flights and product demonstration, and they also partner with public and private sectors in support of regional workforce development initiatives. And we would also like to highlight the San Bernardino International Airport. The airport is certificated by the FAA under Part 139 as a public use commercial service, supporting a variety of aviation services such as air cargo, MROs, general aviation, corporate aviation, and air passenger services. The IVDA continues to partner with multiple education institutions to foster the enrichment of learning in the local communities while ensuring alignment with workforce development agencies. In recent years, the UAS Center at SBD has expanded those partnerships into tailored solutions for our educational and workforce partners. In closing, we would like to thank the board members, staff, and community members for your support and contribution to a great 2023 year, and we look forward to continuing to work with each and every one of you. Thank you so much, and I'm here for any questions.
Yeah, don't have any questions. I appreciate the presentation, Jillian. I think we've done a great job. I really want to thank Mike and the team for doing everything they can to improve infrastructure, also to make sure that we have tenants, make sure we continue to generate revenue, and also making sure that we have employment here. And I think a lot of good things are in the works. But one of the things I really think we need to do is really do everything we can to improve our efforts to put this airport on the map. And whether it's visibility, the look, giving it a fresh look, I think if we want to continue to grow, we have to make some investments or go after potential funding to just really sell this airport. There's still people in the community that do not know that we have an airport. And I think that has to be a big priority, and potentially that could generate future jobs. Hopefully, our partners here, our air partners decide, hey, you know what, San Bernardino is really committed to this, and we can show them that we're invested in it and they're willing to add hopefully additional flights. I know they're looking at that, but I just think that's one of the things that we should set as a goal, and really look at how we could revamp and give a fresh look to our airport and have a stronger presence in the community.
Okay, thank you, sir. Seeing no other comment, is this just a receive and file type of thing? All right, we'll move on to 11. Mr. Burrows, our update on our action plan.
I'm going to be even more brief on this one. We've already talked about the corridor plan. I've already told you about the UAS Center grant that Miriam's working on. I want to give a lot of credit to our talented clerk of the board team, Jillian, Melissa. They really dug in on this. This Esri software was not something that they had used prior to this, and I really want to commend you guys on a very, very good job. So that concludes the report.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, we're now going to move on to open session public comment. I'm sorry. Yep, totally missed it. Bring that up. Okay, on to item 12. Mr. Burrow.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. This is a award of construction contract and authorized T&G Construction Service Incorporated to construct improvements for additional locker room space and office space at our existing security office. Award of a construction contract to T&G Construction Service Incorporated in amount not to exceed $50,154.21 for Building 48 Security Office project, and authorize the Chief Executive Officer to execute all related documentations. Funding for this project is included in the approved Inland Valley Development Agency fiscal year 2024-25 budget and the Capital Project Fund account 50259, Building 48 tenant improvements, of which $225,000 was previously approved, of which $50,154.21 would be allocated for this project. Staff solicited proposals to qualified contractors, in which found T&G Construction Service for the amount of $50,154.21 best fitted and complete proposal for this project. IVDA will use our standard construction contract and for this project, and staff recommends that the board approves the above recommended action.
Thank you, sir.
Baca moves.
Second. Quick. Did you catch it?
Baca and Navarro, correct? We have a motion by Member Baca and a second by Member Navarro. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Echevarria?
Yes.
Member Duper?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Baca?
Baca, aye.
Member Armendariz?
Armendariz, aye.
Member Tran?
Yes.
Member Ibarra?
Yes.
And Member Figueroa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to public comment. This was actually submitted a little bit late, but it's for 2B, and it's Tanya Gonzalez.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know it was late, but I had a question when y'all were doing the report. I just wanted to get a little bit more clarification of when the EIR was going to be available to community so that they can give feedback. Since, well, first of all, I'm Tanya. I'm with the San Bernardino Airport Communities. I know you've probably seen me a lot. And we just wanted to get clarity on that because we need there to be community engagement in these type of projects as well. Community has actually been very invested in making sure that their streets look a lot better, right? Cleaner, better for them to drive in, better for their kids to walk in. So we did audit walks together. They took pictures. We made like a little report of the streets they live in, and it's the streets that you are proposing, right, in this infrastructure project. So we would love to present what we found to you all so that you can get that community feedback from them, from the people actually living in the area. So just clarity on like the timeline, you know, of when it's going to be available to us.
So what you didn't miss was we're going through the final reviews of the draft chapters where we should have our last technical study by the end of this week, which also has to get incorporated in there. So we're targeting the end of the month. And if you leave us your email contact, we will make sure you're on the notice when the document gets circulated. So we would love to see the report. That would be very helpful.
Great, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Tanya. Okay, moving on to board member comment.
To our board clerk, great job on the presentation. Thank you very much. Very informative. Let's put that on the website.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right, seeing no other comment, we're going to be adjourned. Thank you very much.